And the entire planet.
Cassie!
In a world plunged into chaos, a girl is approached in a store with a rifle in hand, setting the tone for the harrowing tale that unfolds in The Fifth Wave. Cassie, our determined protagonist, entered a desolate and plundered marketplace, scavenging for supplies as an eerie silence enveloped her. Amidst the debris, a faint plea for help reached her ears, compelling her to investigate further. As Cassie ventured into the back room, she was suddenly confronted by a man wielding a firearm. Their intentions mirrored each other, both yearning for the other to surrender their weapon. Tensions rose, but the man made his first move, dropping his firearm. He implored Cassie to do the same, yet she hesitated. Cautious, she insisted he reveal a hidden hand concealed beneath his jacket. The man explained that he was injured, and when he slowly revealed his concealed hand, Cassie's eyes locked onto something that she believed to be a weapon. In an instant, she pulled the trigger, a gunshot echoing in the room. To her shock, the object in the man's hand was not a weapon, it was just a crucifix. A poignant flashback offered a glimpse into Cassie's life before the waves of catastrophe. She was at a lively party with friends, engaged in a conversation about her crush. As the party came to a close, Cassie had a brief exchange with Ben, whom she liked. The warmth of family marked her return home as she checked in with her father, Oliver, and tenderly said goodnight to her brother, Sam. The next day, life took a dramatic turn as Cassie attended soccer practice, enjoying her time with her friends. However, a strange event disrupted the ordinary routines. An unexpected event swept through the world, as everyone seemed glued to their phones, engrossed in breaking news. The world was collectively captivated by the sight of a mysterious UFO. The calm before the storm was shattered when Sam, Cassie's younger brother, impulsively dashed out of the house and their family followed. In the sky above them loomed an enigmatic UFO, casting an ominous shadow on their lives. An eerie silence marked the days that followed. The aliens who had arrived in colossal ships seemed disinterested in communication. Panic began to grip Cassie's neighborhood as residents fled the cities. A sudden catastrophe struck her school, with devices ceasing to function and chaos ensuing. An electromagnetic pulse had been unleashed, plunging them into darkness, marking the beginning of the first wave meant to cut all power. Cassie's dad, Oliver, came to collect her from school, fully aware that the world was unraveling. Unbeknownst to them, the oceans were undergoing an explosive transformation, causing tsunamis to ravage coastal cities. Later, Cassie's school was transformed into a makeshift medical facility as the aliens' onslaught continued. Cassie encountered her friend there, eager to greet her. However, her mother intervened, revealing that the friend was in quarantine. With a heavy heart, she put on a mask and left, pondering the disturbing turn of events. Tragedy struck when Cassie and her family bid farewell to her mother, who had succumbed to a modified avian flu, the third wave unleashed by the aliens. The world was ravaged by disease as they grappled with their dying hope. In the wake of these disasters, Cassie and her family began preparations to depart, understanding that safety was fleeting. As they made their way to the refugee camp, Cassie's father, Oliver, pulled her aside, revealing a grim reality. He showed her a firearm and explained that she would need to be vigilant, keeping the weapon concealed from others. The world was no longer a safe place. In the refuge, a new threat emerged. A loud disturbance enveloped the camp, and as a cloud of dust approached, the ground shook as military tanks and school buses emerged from the dust storm. Colonel Bush and his men arrived, revealing their military origins and their intent to assist. The situation grew increasingly dire as the military made the tough decision to separate children from adults. With the adults heading to the briefing, the children boarded the buses led by guidance of Oliver. As the children embarked on their journey, a heart-wrenching moment unfolded. Sam realised he had left his beloved teddy bear behind, and Cassie's attempts to persuade him fell short. She took it upon herself to retrieve it, leaving Sam on the bus. Inside the sleeping quarters, Cassie found the teddy bear, but her mission was hindered when the buses abruptly departed. Running behind them, she was unable to reach the moving convoy. Separation was complete. Simultaneously, the adults at the camp received alarming news. Voss informed them that the army believed the fourth wave had commenced. The aliens had infiltrated the human population, capable of taking control of their hosts. Fear spread among the adults, but hope waned. Bush revealed that children were being held in separate facilities to protect them, as it was impossible to distinguish humans from aliens. As Cassie watched the scene unfold from outside the mess hall, she received signals instructing her to remain hidden. Chaos erupted within a man's agitation escalated into gunfire. Cassie retreated into the woods. Upon her return, Cassie collected her brother's teddy bear. To her horror, she encountered a grim scene inside the mess hall. Oliver lay lifeless among others, victims of the chaotic shootout. She seized a rifle and fled back into the woods. Meanwhile, the children arrived at their designated base. As they disembarked from the buses, they were assigned numbers and instructed to wait. Ben was the first to be called. He underwent a medical examination and was questioned by Sergeant Resnick. Ben revealed his tragic loss as his family had died during the previous waves, whereas Nick informed him that he was fortunate as he now had the opportunity to avenge their deaths by joining the fight against the aliens. She injected a tracker into his neck and presented the reality of their new mission. In another part of the story, Cassie goes on a lonely and difficult journey. Isolated in the woods, she struggles with trust issues and an unshakable determination to reach the base and reunite with her little brother. Ben, on the other hand, drew closer to Ringer, a resilient and self-reliant member of their squad. Ringer revealed her apocalyptic resilience and displayed her fighting skills, ultimately becoming Ben's sparring partner. Their banter and clashes developed a unique bond between them. In parallel, Cassie and Evan, another member of Ben's squad, continued their journey towards the base. Cassie's motivation stemmed from her promise to protect her brother. Evan, initially patronizing, eventually agreed to teach her how to disarm an opponent. Evan instructed Cassie on self-defense techniques, and her determination to learn revealed the depth of her commitment to saving her brother. The connection between Cassie and Evan deepened. Back at the base, Ben's squad was selected for a critical mission. They were tasked with infiltrating an enemy's lair to test special visors that expose the aliens in their true form. Their mission to terminate the host became chillingly real. Ringer, a vital part of Ben's squad, made a shocking discovery. She realized the deceptive nature of the visitors and trackers, exposing a sinister truth about the aliens within the army. Her revelation sent shockwaves through the ranks. As the story unfolded, a rescue mission emerged led by Cassie and Ben. They set out to save Sam, guided by the realization that he was in grave danger. Meanwhile, Evan hatched a plan to sabotage the base from within, determined to thwart the alien threat. The climactic reunion between Cassie, Ben and Sam occurred as they managed to escape the base just moments before its devastating destruction. Colonel Bush's attempts to stop them provided futile. The story pivoted to the squad's hope for a brighter future. Settled in a more secure location, they pondered their next steps with a primary focus on saving the other children. Their journey was filled with peril, betrayal, and resilience as they struggled with the true nature of the alien invasion and fought to reunite with their loved ones. Cassie and Ben's determination, Ringer's revelation, and Evan's heroic actions added layers of depth to this post-apocalyptic movie. With the harrowing challenges of the first waves of the alien invasion behind them, the squad's future remained uncertain, and the fate of humanity hung in the balance. Their resolve and the bonds they formed would shape the world's destiny. The desperate quest to counter the fifth wave was just beginning, and the survival of the human race depended on the choices they would make in the face of an unrelenting and formidable enemy. The suspenseful narrative unfolded with each twist and revelation, making the fifth wave a gripping and emotional rollercoaster that kept audiences on the edge of their seats. In a world where trust was scarce and danger lurked at every turn, the characters' strength, sacrifices, and resilience offered a glimmer of hope amid the darkest of times. As the story reached its climax, it was evident that the battle for humanity was far from over, and the true enemy remained shrouded in deceit and mystery. And that is the movie, folks. Hope you liked it, and if you did, make sure to click that thumbs up button, subscribe, and turn on the bell icon for more. Thanks for watching. Bye!